Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to any new viewers. This is a reading for Cancer. My beautiful Cancers, Sun, Moon, Rising. We're looking at the month ahead. We're going to look at your current energy, what you're dealing with, the situations that you're surrounded by, the overall outcome of those situations for the month, any other words of advice or positive affirmations for those who need it. Cancer, as I pull out the spread and tap into what's happening for you this month, I will just gently remind if you enjoy the reading, if it resonates, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps. Feel free to leave a comment as well, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more readings as they come up. Cancer, let's see what's going on here. I'll just show you. We have, oh, more swords. 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Lots of swords in this reading, so get to what that means in a moment. More swords. We've got the 6 of Air, which is the 6 of Swords there. Let's just get one more. Overall, I like where this is going. Keep your heart open. First quarter moon in Libra. Okay. So definitely a situation that is upsetting here, but you know what? I'm seeing more heartbreak and upset on the side of another person, interestingly. So there was a bit of a situation where I think you realized someone was being a bit selfish, and you almost like finally had a confrontation or are thinking about having a confrontation about this, and it sort of ends up upsetting this person more than you know. Now, there's a kind of difference in energies here as well between you and another person that you're dealing with. And the difference in energies comes from you really wanting to start move forward, make some changes, take some steps in a certain direction, and someone around you is just not willing to do that, or not wanting to do that, or just too comfortable in the current situation as it is. But the problem with that is things can't stay the same forever, and I think this person just wanted to keep doing what they were doing forever. They wanted the situation to just continue as it is. Now, that could mean a couple different things for like depending on the situation that this relates to. But for some of you, it is a romantic relationship. It is someone who, I hate to say it, already felt like they were getting what they needed. Like, for example, let's say you're living with someone and they just don't want to take like the relationship to the next level. Just for example, like you maybe, again, not necessarily going to be a story, but let's say marriage is something that you're interested in, or like having that sort of commitment. And then that, it's just not as important to the other person, but actually it's not as important to them because they're already getting what they want and what they need. So they don't feel a drive or a need to change the situation, if that makes sense. Like there's nothing that they're not getting now that they need or they want for the future for themselves. So that's why this person is very much in the energy of the Hanged Man here, right? So they're just hanging around casually. This person is upside down, but they're just kind of not stressed about it, if that makes sense. So they're, I suppose, sometimes it's a bit of sitting on the fence, not wanting to make a decision either way when they're faced with a choice or when they're faced with a decision that needs to be made. They're just not in a rush. They're not in a rush. But like I said, they're not in a rush because there's nothing forcing them. There's nothing prompting them to make a change because they're already kind of getting what they need. But that is going to change because you have a different timeline, right? We've got the Chariot energy here. This is very much like, let's move forward, let's go for it, let's initiate something. You want to get something started. This is something that I think you've been doing a bit of research on, potentially like looking at certain things online, figuring out what the next move is going to be, what the next step is going to be. Some of you could be wanting to learn something new as well. So potentially enroll in a course of study or something like that. Or learn some new skills that have to do with a new type of work or a new type of job. So, and it could be both stories happening. So definitely a lot of things changing, but for the better. These are goals that you've set for yourself, things that you're excited about for the future. This is, after all, one of your cards, Cancer, right? The Chariot energy. That's often like Cancer energy, and that's really about that initiation. It's also about victory. It's also about achieving success. So I think you're on the right track, you're on the right path, and you know that, but it's just a question of, is someone around you going to be on that journey with you? And if they're not, maybe it's time to kind of say, well, you're either in it or you're not. What do you want to do? We can't deny this Ten of Swords here, but it's appearing on their side. So I will say that I'm seeing this sort of disappointment with someone else, and I'm seeing that they're realizing what they had that was so comfortable for them in the past is no longer going to be there moving forward, because you've got your own plans and ideas, and you're starting to think more about yourself and what you want. Perhaps in the past you were thinking too much of another person. You were worrying too much about someone else's needs. And I think now we are at a place where you can't deny your own needs anymore. And if they're not getting met, or if this person is not wanting to move at your pace, or, move on or make any change in their life in general, then that's just not going to work moving forward. Now we have the Ace of Swords here. This is all about a truthful communication. It is also a card of victory. And you, may I point out, have two cards of victory on your side here, which essentially means that, or it's a message to me that you are on the right track. So for anyone who needs to hear that, you're on the right track. You know what you need to do. If there's something in your mind as well that you've kept circling back to, and you were unsure about how to proceed, but anytime you think about it or thought about it, you would keep coming back to the same conclusion as to what you need to do, then you know now that that is the right decision moving forward, and that's the right course of action. So I think that's going to become even more clear for you. And I think what I also like about this is that even though we have a Ten of Swords here, we've got a heartbreaking situation, again, more on the side of another person. So this could be literally a relationship ending. This could be someone feeling a little bit shocked and betrayed, but, I think they just weren't really picking up the signs. And so that's why they feel like this. I think if they were a bit more intuitive and a little bit, let's say, less selfish and just thinking about themselves, I think they could have avoided this. But what I like is that we do have the Ace here. So Ten of Swords is as bad as it's going to get. The Ace is a really nice, truthful, honest new beginning. And I think it's going to be much better for you. This relationship is going to change for the better, no matter what that means. If it's a complete ending, you moving on to something else or someone else, that's going to be for your benefit. Alternatively, this could be a turnaround in that relationship, right? It's a chance for a new page. It's a chance to turn over a new page, turn over a new leaf, and start fresh and start from the truth, okay? So there may also have been something that you discovered, that you found out, right? You did a bit of research. You perhaps found something out online, or someone else told you about something online. Either way, you did some digging, you did some investigation, and you found something out. And once the truth is revealed, once the truth comes out, it's actually going to really clear the air and help you move forward in this situation, or help the both of you move forward. We do have the Knight of Swords as well, more strong air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is a really, really surprising message coming in. I do see that. I think once the truth comes out, once you become very clear on what you want moving forward, if you haven't already, You're going to get a very surprising communication. It could be, again, in the form of online communication, but either way, it comes in very quickly, quicker than you expect, okay? Once it comes in, you're going to need to decide what you want to do with that. But I do see a peace offering. I see a peace offering coming in. We've got the Six of Air here, Six of Swords. We've moved from, I guess you could say, more selfish behavior on another person's part to actually wanting to move to a more fair relationship or fair and balanced situation. No more fights, no more arguing, no more disagreements. Let's not necessarily keep secrets from each other. Let's not lie to each other. Let's be very open and honest in our communication moving forward. Let's get to a better place. So I think that's going to really surprise you with how much this person is willing to say, how much they're willing to reveal, and how truthful and honest they're willing to be. And there could be an actual move that happens as well, because that is a message that can come through from the Six of Swords. And it's, again, a very, very different energy to this Hanged Man that we have here, where there's no movement happening. So it could actually be a decision to move that you're not expecting, and that happens very, very quickly. So it's not something that this person hasn't been considering in the past, but again, they just weren't taking action. So this is a big, big change. You, of course, are going to need to decide what to do with that. The advice here is to keep your heart open. And we have a first quarter moon. It's like a final hurdle, or a final, it's not just a final hurdle. It brings up something that you weren't expecting, right? It throws a bit of a spanner in the works because you had decided on something, you're very clear, and then this message, this communication that comes through makes you stop and reconsider and think, I've got more than one option here now, and I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this person to give me the information they're giving me. I also wasn't expecting them to go along with what I wanted. I'm surprised. They're willing to now change their course. They're willing to change their ideas, change their beliefs, change their mind about something. It's going to surprise you. So that has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, I guess. But this is giving the message of keeping your heart open. So staying open to what could be, keeping open to the future possibilities, right? So it could be that, let's say you decide that feelings are still there in this, if this is a romantic relationship, let's say you still feel something for this person, they still feel something for you, and you can find a way to now balance and compromise. This is, after all, coming up in the sign of Libra, which is all about fairness, balance, compromise, trying to keep things nice and even so that everyone's kind of happy and getting what they want and no one feels like their needs are just going completely unmet. So there is an option here to really change this situation moving forward in a way that works out for both of you. And it's a new possibility that you weren't considering, but keep your heart open to it, I would say. And the card is saying, because it's something that could actually really work out in your favor. So very, very interesting here. I'm going to leave it there, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed. And if that was helpful, or if that at all resonated, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you again so much for watching, and hopefully see you all in the next video.